South Beach, Miami. To the untrained eye, it is a playground for the ultra-wealthy, a sun-drenched sanctuary of superyachts, high-end real estate, and unimaginable luxury. But beneath the neon lights and palm trees, an invisible tectonic shift is taking place. This is the wealth walkway, and the $500,000-a-year gatekeepers of the world's richest elite are about to face their reckoning. June 2026. A single article from Bloomberg sends shockwaves through the glass towers of Wall Street and the private banks of Switzerland. Wealth managers, professionals who command base salaries upwards of $500,000 to manage the fortunes of the 1%, are confronting an existential threat. Not from a market crash, nor a rival firm, but from a chatbot. The reaction on Wall Street was instant panic. Behind closed doors, executives celebrated massive cost savings, while senior wealth managers scrambled to defend their careers. The dismantling had begun. For decades, private banking was an impenetrable fortress built on human relationships, expensive dinners, and golf course handshakes. Trust was human. Today, that fortress is being dismantled. Artificial intelligence is moving from automated customer service to the absolute pinnacle of global finance. And it raises a terrifying question. When the algorithms take over the world's wealth, what happens to the humans left behind? Welcome to the Wealth Crime Lab. In this investigative documentary, we pull back the curtain on the multi-trillion-dollar AI playground. We will explore how artificial intelligence is executing a hostile takeover of the financial elite, the hidden dangers of algorithmic bias, and the terrifying new frontier of high-tech wealth crime that is already unfolding in the shadows. To understand the magnitude of this disruption, one must understand what a wealth manager actually does. They are not mere stockbrokers. They are confidants, tax architects, and legacy builders. For centuries, the ultra-wealthy paid exorbitant fees for human discretion. A machine, it was believed, could never understand the nuance of human greed, family legacy, or risk tolerance. But human discretion is slow. Human analysis is limited by the standard 24-hour day. A human wealth manager can analyze perhaps a dozen portfolios simultaneously, balancing tax laws, estate planning, and market volatility. An advanced AI model can analyze 10,000 portfolios in milliseconds, cross-referencing global tax codes, real-time geopolitical events, and historical market data instantly. The financial incentives for firms to replace humans with AI are staggering. A human advisor costs $500,000 a year, demands bonuses, takes vacations, and makes emotional mistakes. An AI chatbot works 24/7, costs a fraction of the price, and operates with cold, mathematical precision. For the institutions holding the world's capital, the math is simple. The human element is no longer an asset. It is a liability. This transformation did not happen overnight. In the shadows of Wall Street, massive proprietary AI systems have been quiet giants for years. Consider Aladdin, BlackRock's central nervous system, an AI that manages and monitors risk for tens of trillions of dollars of assets. It already controls more wealth than the GDP of the United States. When one AI system influences the investment decisions of thousands of pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, and billionaires, the market ceases to be a product of human supply and demand. It becomes a closed-loop simulation, a simulation dictated by algorithms that optimize for profit over human survival. As the ultra-wealthy migrate their fortunes to these AI-driven platforms, the nature of wealth management changes. It is no longer about picking the best stock. It is about who owns the best algorithm. The elite are handing the keys to the global economy to black box systems whose internal decision-making processes are so complex, even their creators cannot fully explain them. And here is where the playground turns into a crime scene. When an AI wealth manager makes a catastrophic error or intentionally manipulates a market, who goes to handcuffs? If a chatbot advises a billionaire client to execute a trade that triggers a flash crash, wiping out the savings of millions of ordinary citizens, where does the blame land? Regulators are currently facing a nightmare scenario: algorithmic collusion. In a completely automated financial system, independent AI wealth managers can learn to coordinate prices, manipulate market sentiment, and squeeze out retail investors without ever receiving an explicit human command. It is insider trading, executed at the speed of light with absolute plausible deniability. Furthermore, AI lacks an ethical compass. A human wealth manager might hesitate to invest in a company utilizing child labor or destroying protected ecosystems due to reputational risk or moral conscience. An AI programmed purely to maximize yield within the literal boundaries of the law will exploit every loophole, every gray area, and every human misery to extract a fraction of a % of profit. But the threat is not just systemic, it is hyper-personal. As legitimate institutions adopt AI chatbots for their elite clients, cybercriminals are watching, and they are executing some of the most sophisticated heists in human history. Welcome to the era of the deepfake CFO. Using just a few minutes of audio captured from public speeches or interviews, criminals can perfectly clone the voice of a trusted human wealth manager. They use these deepfakes to call high-net-worth individuals, authorizing emergency fund transfers, or pitching exclusive, time-sensitive investment opportunities that do not exist. In one terrifying case, a multinational firm transferred tens of millions of dollars after a financial officer was tricked by an entire video conference call populated by deepfakes of his colleagues. When the gatekeepers of wealth become digital, the avenues for fraud become infinite. This technology is also trickling down, creating a mass-market fraud epidemic. Capitalizing on the news that billionaires are using AI to grow their fortunes, predatory scammers are flooding the internet with fake AI wealth management platforms. They target regular investors, promising institutional-grade algorithmic returns. The victim logs into a beautifully designed dashboard, watching their simulated wealth grow day by day due to advanced AI trading. But it is a digital illusion. The algorithm isn't trading, it's a glorified spreadsheet. When the victim attempts to withdraw their funds, the platform vanishes, leaving behind a digital ghost town and ruined lives. This is the paradox of the AI revolution. The very technology meant to democratize wealth and eliminate human error has instead created an apex predator, a tool that can be weaponized by rogue states, criminal syndicates, and predatory corporations to siphon capital away from the public and lock it into the vaults of the digital elite. Back in Miami and across the financial capitals of the world, the human wealth managers who once thought they were untouchable are updating their resumes. The transition is brutal, quiet, and total. The $500,000 salaries are evaporating, replaced by cloud computing subscriptions. But as the humans depart, we must ask ourselves what we are losing. Trust is a uniquely human currency. It requires empathy, accountability, and a shared understanding of risk. When a machine manages your life savings, you lose a partner and gain a black box. If it fails, there is no one to apologize, no one to sue, and no one to hold accountable. We are standing at the precipice of a new financial order. An order where wealth is managed by entities that do not sleep, do not feel, and do not care about the human consequences of their calculations. The chatbot reckoning is no longer a futuristic prediction. It is a present-day reality. The question is no longer whether AI can manage money better than a human. The question is whether we are prepared to live in a world where the global economy is entirely automated, and where the line between legitimate finance and high-tech crime becomes completely invisible. As the algorithms continue to rewrite the rules of power and money, one truth remains. The greatest crimes are often the ones that are entirely legal, executed in broad daylight by systems we chose to trust. Thank you for watching this investigation by the Wealth Crime Lab. If you want to stay ahead of the dark side of the global economy, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. And leave a comment below. Would you trust your life savings entirely to an AI chatbot? Let us know, and we will see you in the next investigation.